Good afternoon. Today is February 23rd, and it currently is 7:39 right now. Silver is at 86.42, and gold is at $5,171.70. Currently, the gold to silver ratio is at, I believe it was 59. Let me make sure. It is at 59.66. So I know I haven't done one of these videos in some time, and I actually had ordered some stuff, and I wanted to do an unpacking, but it took a while. Time passed, and I got impatient, so I unpacked it without making a video. But I want to show you some of the items that I purchased in the last month, from January till now. And then I do have another unpacking that I want to do today. It's small, but it's good. So I purchased this. I already have one, and with this one now I have two Nadar. I believe I got this from the gun show, if I'm not mistaken. Paid a really good price. Obviously tested it, made sure it was all real and everything. So I picked that up. With the gold to silver ratio, when it hit, it was actually at 49. I decided to buy gold, so I got a 1/10 ounce 2016, and I could tell you that at the time it had dropped, so I got a pretty good deal, a really good deal on this actually. If I'm not mistaken, I believe I paid like $20 over spot, something like that, and from then until now, I've already made a profit on this, which is always a plus. So I got that, and then I purchased. So for some reason, I had it in my head that the first American Eagle was in '87, but it was actually in '86. So I purchased it in '87, thinking it was the first year, and it was a really good price, a really good deal. So I purchased it, and then for some reason, I don't know why, I had 87 in my head, and when I looked it up, it was actually an 86. So I don't got one of the first ones yet. I also, at my local coin shop, had got these two, and I went and got these like right after when silver was starting to drop. So I want to say I paid probably around $90 for these, and if you look online right now, you're going to pay about $90 to $100 right now on these because the premium's high. So I actually got these for a good deal. They're both 2014. They had a lot of 2014, but I just picked up two at the time. I also picked up, on my unboxing that I would have done, I picked up this Libertad 1985. I really, really like the Libertads. I know I say that all the time. So these are all new purchases. Then when silver was at $100 an ounce, I had to get a ring sized for my wife. And at the jewelry store, I decided to ask, hey, do y'all sell silver coins by any chance? And he did. And I knew that silver was going up and down throughout the day, but I knew that it was like in the 100 range. So he sold me, he had one coin, which was this kookaburra. It's a 2023, 4 nines, fine silver. There's a queen. Kookaburra. I really like the kookaburras too. Every year they're different. And anyway, so I picked this up for $90. And when I left, I checked what the silver price was, and it was actually $100. So I got it $10 under spot, which was awesome. And this was like right when silver was starting to go down. So I picked that up. Then also in my order, so I'm filling tubes, and you can see right there. So I'm missing two more, and I'll have $10 face value here of Franklin's. So I had found one, I think it was at the gun show if I'm not mistaken, and I bought just one, but look at the way that looks. That's a beautiful coin. So I didn't want to put it in there. You know, I know it's not perfect condition, but that's really nice. It's already getting some milk spotting there, but like I said, it's for 1962. That looks really good. So I decided I didn't want to put it in here. So I kind of just kept that one separate. And we'll come back to that in a minute. I also bought some 1/10 ounce silver. And that's from Ampex. I got 5 of them here, which I needed 5 to make a 1 ounce of the 1/10. So I got that. And then I also started. So when silver was going up, I didn't want to spend too much on silver, so I kind of slowed down and started buying constitutional silver and filling some tubes. So I got some really good deals. These are all mercury dimes, $5 face value mercury dimes here. And I was able, not all at once, but in time, I was able to fill 3 tubes. So that was pretty awesome. Then I prefer mercury dimes over these, because the Roosevelt dimes, I mean, they look exactly like the ones today. However, I found some Roosevelt dimes for a good price, and I had this about halfway, I would say, probably around right there where my thumb is. And like I said, they had a good deal, or I got a good deal on them, so I was able to fill this tube. And I think I have maybe 5 or 10 more to start another tube. I got to buy more tubes though. So got those. Now everybody's different. I can't tell you what to do, but whenever I see the ratio go down to 50 or lower, I'm going to concentrate on gold. That's my strategy. When silver drops to like 80 or lower, I'll buy silver bullion, and obviously I'm looking for the best prices. But when silver goes up, I'm going to concentrate on constitutional, because a lot of people don't want constitutional. It's weird, and a lot of the prices are pretty low. So you know, so I like that, collecting these, putting them in tubes. And if you look online and see how much one of these tubes go for, I mean, I'm talking about the $5 face value. It's pretty much up there. I mean, if I wanted, I could probably sell this, and probably get maybe 2 or 3 of these, you know, or maybe even another 1/10 ounce. Although they've been going up way more than what I paid. So anyway, that's my strategy. I can't tell you what to do, like I said, but let's go ahead and do an unboxing. So it's kind of cool this time because I got less, and it came in a package like this. So I thought that was pretty cool. So let's see if we can open it without damaging anything inside. Whoop, sorry about that. Well, look, it has a pull. Here I am trying to use a knife. Okay, that one didn't work. Let's see, here we go. Alright. So it looks like it has a packing slip, which I'm going to pull out. Then let's see what we got. So, oh, that's pretty cool. They sent a little picture in here. Well, this is a little difficult. More difficult than I thought it was going to be. Let me tear this open a little bit more, if I can. Okay. So there's this little package in there. Okay, so there's part of what I ordered. I got 2 to add to my. So now with these 2, I'm gonna have $10. Let's see what years they are. We got a 1959 and 1958 Franklin. So, well, I'm not gonna put them in there yet because I gotta test them just to make sure. Then I don't know if you're familiar with go backs. I've shared them before, but go backs, they're gold. So So I got two, and I'll put them. I usually wear gloves when I mess with these, so I should have put on gloves, but I'm just got the Dallas. So 1/1000 troy ounce of 24 karat gold. I got two of them. And I should have gotten my black light to check, but usually on the gold backs on the back, when you shine the black light, you'll see the GB on there. But I know that these are from Goldback, but at the same time, they don't look anything like the other Goldbacks. So I'm not sure. But anyway, I don't know if you can see that. I don't want to get my reflection in there, but I am. Anyway, so Dallas Fort Worth, that was the first Texas Goldback, and I hear that Texas is coming out with more Goldbacks. And like I said, there are two here. Just wanted these to add to my collection, and they were a pretty good price. I mean, the price of Goldbacks have gone up, but it wasn't too bad. So that was my unboxing. Nothing else. So that's my silver and a little bit of gold, but I want to share something from the Word real quick. Matthew chapter 10, and we're gonna start, let's see, where is it? Here it is. Oh, is that not it? Oh, here it is. Okay, Matthew chapter 10, verse 28, it says, "And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell." And then it goes on to talk about two sparrows and how God takes care of them, but he takes care of us more because he loves us more. But on that fear, I wanted to talk about that fear. You know, I notice a lot of people have fear, and you know, I'm guilty of it too, but more importantly in the workplace, I kind of, I hadn't really noticed, and I know I used to be like that too, but my mind has changed, my mindset on the way I think of things. I know my value. I know I can go anywhere, which I have a couple of times lately. I know that not in every case, but in a majority of cases, they need me more than I need them, if that makes any sense. And I'm not trying to sound arrogant, but I'm just saying, I know my value. I know my worth. I know my knowledge. I know what I bring to the table. And there was a time, and I even at one of my jobs when I was in charge and I would bring people into my office, they would always say, "What did I do? Why am I in trouble?" And it used to amaze me because, you know, I mean, granted, there was a couple of times, yes, I had to get after them, but a lot of times it wasn't. It was, you know, to congratulate them for something they did, you know, good stuff. And but that fear, you know, it's there, and I see it everywhere. You know, it's weird because we cower to people. You know, okay, they have a title or they're an authority, but they're just people like us, you know. And I don't think we should cower to them. You know, I'm not saying to disrespect, but I'm saying, you know, God's in charge, period. You know, and wherever he wants me to be, that's where I'm going to be. And no matter how bad or good it gets, you know, he's in control. So we have to remember that God's always in control. So we don't have to fear man. And like that scripture said that I just read, we don't have to fear someone that can kill the body. Only God can kill the soul. Only God can send the soul to hell. So that's who we need to fear and reverence and worship and praise, right? And I can't tell you, again, I can't tell you what to do, just like I can't tell you with finances. I can't tell you who to serve, but I will say this, that my life is difficult, but it's good. And it's good because of him. You know, I always say that, you know, number one has to be God. Number two is my family. And number three is my job. And the reason I say that is because without God, I can't be a good father. I can't be a good husband. And yes, I have to work to pay bills and stuff, but work doesn't define me, you know, and my family comes first. I work for my family to take care of my family, you know, not the other way. I don't want to lose my family because I'm always at work, you know. So, you know, and I know not everybody feels like that, and I wasn't always like that. It took a while for me to have that mindset, but that's where I'm at, you know, in my life, and I'm taking it easy, you know, one day at a time, and just enjoying life to the best of my ability. So just wanted to share that with you, and like I always say, get right with God, get out of debt, and if you can, buy silver and gold. And don't forget to go home and read your Bible. God bless.